I have said before that Serena Williams is the most unique Jehovah's Witness on planet Earth. She is able to do things that not even the governing body are able to get away with because of her celebrity status. And it's created this very fascinating predicament for Jehovah's Witness leadership about what to do with her, because she doesn't seem to be wanting to stop doing a lot of the things that a ordinary Jehovah's Witness would never be allowed to. Now, I'm not a fan of the NFL. I don't watch any of the old pigskin getting thrown around, but I did see a news clip that caught my attention.
Explain that one to heaven.
So yeah, I thought we'd talk about it. Now, just to give you a bit of lore here on the background, I didn't watch the halftime performance myself. I think it's strange to watch live music that you're not actually, seeing live. I would rather just listen to the record by itself, but that's neither here nor there. Kendrick has been one of my favorite artists for over 10 years now. Even when I was a Jehovah's Witness, I would sneakily listen to his music. Now, someone that I have never been able to stand and always thought super sucked is Drake. I think his music is laughably terrible. It's popular, yes. That's about all I can say for it. And then there was some weird stuff that I guess the world just decided it wasn't going to pay any attention to that surfaced a long time ago. And the one that I remember specifically was when Drake was on a stage, rubbing on a girl, kind of groping her and kissing her neck. And then he stands back and asks, "How old are you?" And she responds and says, "I'm 17. Now, at this point, you being, I don't know how old he was at the time, but late 20s, 30 years old or so, you're not going to go any further. That's the end. Well, boy. And he even acknowledges it in the clip. I don't know how much I can show on YouTube here, but he says, "Oh man, I'm not going to go to jail for this." So he obviously has some cognition of the situation. I was just kissing a 17-year-old girl. This is a problem. And his immediate response is, "Oh, I'm not going to go to jail for this." But he doesn't really stop there, because then he continues to compliment her and says, "I like the way your breasts feel on my chest."
I had fun. I don't know if I should feel guilty or not, but I had fun. I like the way your breasts feel against my chest. I just want to thank you.
And then he kisses her hand, and then he kisses her cheek, and then he kisses her on the lips. After she's acknowledged she's 17, which is super bizarre. And then there was another instance that I remember. I don't know how deep the lore is with him. I don't keep completely up to date on all of this stuff. But I believe there was an interview with Millie Bobby Brown when she was 14 years old, talking about how she and Drake used to text all the time. Yeah, they would text about boys. I just love him. We're such good friends. There is no circumstance where texting a 14-year-old girl is appropriate. There's just not. He must have been, again, 30 at the time and texting a 14-year-old. These are major red flags. So anyway, the lore behind the song that Serena was dancing in was a diss track to Drake, making some allegations about him that I don't find that preposterous, just knowing some of the details that we have known about Drake for over a decade now. So where does Serena Williams come in with all of this? Well, in the song Not Like Us, Kendrick does actually make reference to not speak on Serena, and her and Drake allegedly used to date a few years back. And so that kind of brings her into the fold. And she actually had a funny quote, but we'll get into that here in a second. But anyway, so that's why she is out there doing the Crip Walk. But anyway, this is one of the most viewed public spectacles in America. There are going to be hundreds of thousands of Jehovah's Witnesses watching this event. And I don't believe that Jehovah's Witnesses are living under such a rock that they aren't aware of the Serena Williams situation. I've made a couple videos if you want more of a deep dive going on her relationship to Watchtower and the organization before she got baptized. I made a video about that. And then when she made a appearance at the lighting torch ceremony for the Olympics, I also made another deep dive video on that one, talking about how that really works with Jehovah's Witnesses and their stance on neutrality. But here she's just dancing. She's just dancing to a song. But this isn't something that Jehovah's Witnesses normally would be allowed to do. Why can I say that very confidently? Well, let me just play a quick snippet from a series of videos that was played during a convention a couple of years ago, talking about not drawing attention to yourself. And it was in reference to someone using an YouTube or social media platform to help her online business. But this was seen as a bad thing because she was drawing too much attention to herself.
They endure.
I'll get back as soon as I can. Love you. Bye. Oh, no.
Hey, love.
So sorry. Gotta run.
Okay, I'll ring you about this week.
Thanks. Love you both.
See you. The afternoon will be better.
Nana.
Hello, Hayley, darling. I'm so sorry.
Oh.
It's not too bad. I got this.
Oh,
How are you, though?
thank you. I'm so sorry.
Oh, poor thing. Let me clear this up. Oh, Nana, it's Sunday today, isn't it?
Oh.
This one. It's felt like such a long day.
It has
Thanks, Nana. Hello everyone, Hayley from Junior Design here, helping you to be effortlessly elegant. I want to welcome my new followers and thank everyone for subscribing to this channel. So first up, I got this gorgeous earring and necklace set. And as you can see, the first is I've done this nude tone. And that's great because it
Can you
goes with
believe
the
her?
outfit that you can wear.
Hayley's business feed.
But what makes this set really special, giving you that understated elegance look. If you haven't done so already, please hit the subscribe button below. Because as you know, when you look this good, you feel great.
Was the sister in this video boasting inappropriately? No. She was a humble servant of Jehovah, kindly and patiently helping her elderly relative. But do you recall her business website and the presentation she made about her jewelry products? She said, "When you look this good, you feel great." Her Christian sister was upset, and took those comments and her actions to be boastful. Well, this video reminds us to think about how our words and our actions may appear to others.
Really? Bad news?
She's a sweetie. Reminds me, I want to speak to her about a necklace.
You too? You don't think she's showing off?
No.
Everyone thinks she's Miss Wonderful. She's starting to agree.
Yes, Nana?
Don't forget eggs, dear.
No, I didn't forget.
Are you sure, love?
No, I won't forget.
Thank you so much.
Okay, love you. Bye. No.
Haley, finally, I've caught you. Do you have a minute?
Hi, Emily. Can we talk later? I'm really struggling this morning.
Do you know, it's just, we've been so busy and I've been waiting for the right moment. I'd really just like to address it.
Okay, what's up?
It's just that I've noticed your posts lately on Quick Posts.
What about them?
Well, do you really think there's something that a pioneer should be posting?
What are you talking about?
Some people might think you're bragging.
Some people? What people? It's a business account. I've got to show off my products.
I know, I get that. It's just, I don't know, it could feel like you're drawing a little too much attention to yourself.
Who would think like that? You?
No, not just me. Celia felt the same.
You spoke to Celia about this.
I didn't want to upset you. Jake said that I needed to
Jake said everyone thinks my posts are inappropriate.
Not everyone, Haley. That's not what I'm saying at all.
You are such...
You're such a gossip. I'm not gossiping. I'm just trying to help you. If you would just listen to me. You're just jealous to me.
Oh, yeah, listen to this. And I expected more from you.
Haley, what are you talking about?
Gossiping about my posts. Are you that lonely that you've got nothing better to do?
Haley?
Haley really was upset. She'd already concluded that she was being gossiped about by everyone. If we find ourselves like Haley feeling offended, how can we avoid quickly taking offense? Well, we must stop and think.
So, you have on one hand the Jehovah's Witness leadership vehemently raining down fire from their thrones in New York, telling people, don't be drawing attention to yourself, even if you're trying to support yourself and your sick mother. Even if you're a pioneer doing everything that we're asking of you, make sure you're not drawing too much attention to yourself. But then you have Serena Williams out here dancing in the halftime show. Why the double standard? Why is she allowed to do that? Why is she allowed to make a public spectacle of herself and not have to face any consequences? You would think that the Jehovah's Witness leadership would come through and wiggle their finger at her and say, hey, sorry, you can't be crip walking during a rap show. Nope, we do not endorse anything like this. So why haven't they? Well, I think the most common response you'll get as to why Jehovah's Witnesses are allowing this is because potentially she is donating a lot of money to Watchtower. Now, that is an interesting concept, for sure, but I don't think that she is possibly donating enough money to make any significant difference to the point where they would just let her do whatever she wanted. I don't think that just by donating a lot of money, they're going to look the other direction. At least in my opinion. That could very well be the case. Maybe she gives them, $500,000 a year, and that is able to moves them sufficiently to just look the other way. Do I think that they would sacrifice their reputation? All of the consequences, the fallout that Jehovah's Witnesses will have when they see her doing this, and they think, well, why is she able to do this? And yet you're telling us we can't even have a YouTube channel. That is an outrage of distributive justice. Oh, is it because she's donating a lot of money to Watchtower? I just feel like that's not what's going on here personally. In my mind, what is happening is that they are in an incredibly difficult situation where whatever elders approved of her getting baptized in the first place made kind of a big mistake. By allowing her to get baptized, knowing full well that she wasn't going to follow all of these ridiculous, every single rule that the governing body puts forth and be hanging on their every word. Knowing full well, by allowing her to get baptized, there's nothing they can do. Because if they punish her, you are going to piss off one of the most popular, powerful women in the world. If I had to wager, if I had to make a bet, I think whatever money she's donating pales in comparison to the fallout that would happen if they disfellowshipped her and she started speaking out against their organization. Imagine if Serena freaking Williams became a celebrity apostate. Now, Scientology is well aware of this. Mormons are gaining in popularity where they're having TV shows and people coming out. Having a celebrity that is outspoken, that has a massive platform and a huge audience, millions of people all around the world, would bring them such incredible negative PR. It would be the worst thing that they could possibly imagine for how they are perceived in public. If she was to go on podcasts and go on talk shows and talk about the shunning policies of Jehovah's Witnesses, that would cost them so much more than whatever she's donating. So it's my opinion that the real reason they don't do anything about anything that she does, or make any, sit her down with the elders, like, okay, hey, Serena, we need to have a quick talk with you. So we noticed that skirt you were wearing is a little bit short. Now, if you look at some of our publications here, this is the recommended length of a skirt from the governing body. Do you think that she would sit there and take that crap? Do you think that she would listen to some guys in their J.C. Penney suits, some nerds, and like, just imagine that scene where Eric and Derek are counseling Serena Williams about the length of her skirt. This would never happen because you don't want to piss her off. I'm sure that whatever congregation that she's assigned to, the elders have contacted the branch and asked, hey, we noticed this, and some people were asking, what should we do? If I was whoever responding to that, I would say, do absolutely nothing. Don't touch it. Don't acknowledge that she's a witness. Don't ever decline all comments. Just never acknowledge it. Keep it a mystery. As long as Jehovah's Witnesses are thinking, oh, well, we don't know whether or not she's baptized. As long as it's a mystery and they can't absolutely confirm, which, I mean, they can, because there's people that are witnesses that are like, yeah, she was at my assembly. I was there watching her get baptized and posting about it on social media. That's neither here nor there. They need to keep it out there in the ether where we don't really know. This is all just speculation. Don't say anything about it, brothers. Just let her do her dance, because I tell you what, we do not want to see what a world looks like where we disfellowship Serena Williams and she turns apostate and starts attacking the organization. We don't even want to dream of that situation, which I think is a pretty valid fear. So if you allow her to get baptized, you also kind of just say, yep, go ahead and do whatever you want, because we ain't going to counsel you. Now, again, maybe this is as simple as, hey, she donates a lot of money. I just personally think like she would have to donate a lot of money to move the needle for an organization the size of Watchtower. And something that is more valuable to them is, how they are perceived in public spaces, because that calls into question some of their more ridiculous practices. And when anytime bad attention is drawn to Watchtower, they start sweating bullets. They start sweating money. And I think that is pretty valuable to them. Now, the other aspect of this that I have to talk about is my favorite new hobby, and that is the Jehovah's Witness version of Reddit, where active Jehovah's Witnesses have this forum where they talk about all sorts of stuff. So I had to go and check out what they had to say about Serena Williams. And my Lord, this is good stuff. So back when the news was covering the situation of Serena Williams getting baptized, there were a few people making comments and posting links to it. One person said that, well, I guess we're beyond the point of speculation now. It's just a fact that she was baptized. And one person posed the question, does this mean that she is going to be going out in the door-to-door preaching work? And this has to be the greatest reply to anything I've ever heard in my entire life. Several commented that they did not recognize her in the photo of her baptism. Since her name is Serena Jamaica Williams O'Hannon, if she introduced herself as Jamaica O'Hannon at the door, many may not recognize her, especially since she would not be wearing a tennis outfit. Superman? Not Superman. Does Superman wear glasses? I mean, Lois, let's not be ridiculous here. You're talking about one of the most recognizable, famous women in the whole world. I would pretty confidently say that she's in the top 50 most recognizable people are women in the world. And you're like, well, she doesn't have a tennis racket. She's clearly not Serena Williams. Come on, let's hear what the lovely Jehovah's Witness has to say at the door. Like, what kind of delusional world do these people live in where that is what you think of? Well, she could just use her middle name and her married last name, and bada bing, bada boom, no one would even recognize her. Oh, man. Anyway, so that was about the situation previously. Some people were commenting today about her dancing at the Super Bowl. One person said, nice to see Serena Williams dancing with the rapper at the Super Bowl halftime show, LOL. And then another person said, what are people's thoughts on this? If you know the background on this, was this a hit back at the rapper Drake? Not going to lie, my mouth did drop when I saw Sister Serena dance on that particular song. So if this gives us a finger on the pulse of how Jehovah's Witnesses think about it, I think this would be pretty accurate. I think their jaws would drop. I think that they would be shocked to see her, because if someone knows that she is a witness and they see her doing these things that they themselves can't do, they're going to be shocked and think, wait, why is there a double standard? And then someone gave a lengthy reply in which they said, like Lamar Williams is not the biggest fan of Drake, to put it mildly. The two were rumored to have dated years ago, with Drake referencing Williams in a song, 2013, Worst Behavior, and again in 2022, Middle of the Ocean, in which he derided her now husband, Alexis O'Hannon, as a groupie. Marvin mentions Williams in the lyrics of the song Not Like Us. While hosting last year's ESPY Awards, Williams teased, if I've learned anything this year, it's that none of us, not a single one of us, not even me, should ever pick a fight with Kendrick. Before dancing to Not Like Us, he will make your hometown not like you. The next time Drake sits courtside at a Raptors game, they're going to Forrest Gump him. Seats taken. So this person commenting was doing their research. So yeah, they're very well familiar with the lore. And I think that despite all of this speculation, people talking about it, even a few people getting uncomfortable bringing it up, like, hey, is it really fair that she's able to do this? That isn't that bad. Even if a few people write letters and say, hey, I saw Serena Williams wearing this skimpy dress and she's out here dancing at the Super Bowl halftime show, I don't think that's really fair. I don't think Watchtower leaders are really going to care about a couple of people saying some stuff about it. Ultimately, if they're that way. I don't think they're going to say, you know what, this is ridiculous. I'm leaving Jehovah's One True Organization. I'll meet him in Armageddon and I'll shake my fist at him. I don't think that they're really going to be significantly impacted. I think it pales in comparison to the impact that would have on the organization if they did something against her. So I find this hilarious. Serena, you keep going out there, do whatever you want, keep speaking and talking about whatever you want, because I think it's hilarious. And maybe she thinks it's hilarious too. Maybe she's just like the ultimate troll. Like, she knows it's all a bunch of gobbledygook, but she doesn't care. She's just going to keep doing it, knowing full well they won't do anything about it. And if they do, they will have a real interesting situation on their hands. Anyway, there's just a couple of my thoughts about what's going on with Serena Williams and her latest dancing at the Super Bowl halftime show. I find it all very fascinating. Hope you guys did too. With all that being said, stay safe. Be kind, and don't forget to love the things you love more than you hate the things you hate. And you better have a good-ass day.